What's up, YouTube? Thanks for joining me today. It's Cuber Chris. So you've decided you want to get perhaps the new GuHong V4. I put together this video to help you compare the V4 to the V3 to know the differences in pros and cons. Hopefully that will not only help you frame up how they compare, but also help you decide if this is a cube worth buying in 2021. Let's get right into it. All right, so we're going to compare a handful of things today. First, let's look at size. The V3 is 54 millimeters and the V4 is 56 millimeters. So if you have smaller hands or like the smaller puzzle feel, this will be a win. Otherwise, the more traditional 56 millimeter puzzle is probably what you'll prefer. Next, onto customizability. This is pretty easy. These both just have standard screw and spring models, so really no customizability other than the screw. If you like that no-nonsense feel, then either one of these is a good option. If you prefer to have something like the dual adjustment system prevalent in a lot of MOU puzzles, you won't have anything like that here. Next, onto weight. So both puzzles are fairly light. However, the V4 is incredibly light. So I think this guy, the V3, comes in around 77, 78 grams, and shave 10 plus grams off that for this guy, which is incredible given the fact that it's larger, but it's at around 55, 56 grams. They accomplished that by making the plastic quite a bit thinner. Next is corner cutting. Not going to say much here. Both of these cubes have fantastic corner cutting. They can cut well beyond the 45-degree mark and good reverse corner cutting. The only possible thing I could say is in real solve scenarios, sometimes the reverse corner cutting on the V3 would get a little bit of catching. So I would say maybe a slight improvement in corner cutting for the V4, but both are very good. Next, onto price. Again, not much difference here. This is $12, this is $15. Neither one is incredibly cheap, I wouldn't say, especially given that you have the RS3 M 2020 for $9 that does have a dual adjustment system. However, they're both fair prices, with the V3, I guess, technically taking the cake by a slight margin. All right, let's move on and take a look at performance. It's obviously very personal. Different cubers will perform, differently on different puzzles, and I get that, and setup also impacts it. So I'm just speaking from my personal experience here. But the V3 never really clicked with me. I never got great times with it, and I never really enjoyed solving on it. The V4, however, is right out of the box. I absolutely loved the turning, and so I was hoping I would get great performance. And before even tensioning it or lubing it, I was getting very close to my regular times on it. It's a fantastic solving experience, and for me, the performance, I'm able to get way better performance with the V4 than with the V3. And then the last thing I'll talk about is feel. Again, I understand this is very subjective, so I'm just speaking from my experience, hoping that it can help someone else, but I don't really enjoy the feel of the V3. To me, it's very, very blocky and uncontrollably fast. And yeah, it never clicked for me. It kind of came out of the box. It was very lubed out of the box and felt kind of slimy. And even when I cleaned off the lube, it still always felt kind of slimy to me, for lack of better terms. The V4, however, has a completely different feel, and it's one, to me, that's incredibly enjoyable to turn. It's very snappy. It comes very sandy out of the box, but not overly so. And yeah, the turning experience is just really nice. It's smooth. It is also fast, but substantially more controllable than the V3 for me. Probably partly due to the size. It's easier to grip and therefore control. But I enjoy it much, much more. So which one of these should you buy? Well, if your heart's set on getting a GuHong, definitely get this one. Though I will say for the average solver, there are better puzzles around this price point, and even a better puzzle cheaper, being the RS3 M 2020. So unless you're a collector, I'm not going to give a raving review that you must buy this. I just think the customizability that you get in the RS3 M 2020 is going to make that puzzle better for many solvers, especially given the fact that it's almost half the price. Well, $9 versus $15. However, the GuHong V4 is a very nice puzzle. It feels fantastic. It's one of the better releases at this price point, without a doubt. If it had customizability, either via magnets or the springs with an adjustment system similar to the DaYan, this puzzle would be getting a much different review for me. But given the fact that it's a very basic mechanism and there's other puzzles at this price point and below that perform just as well and have more customizability, I can't give it a 5-star gold review. However, it's a very nice puzzle and I like it quite a lot. All right, guys, hopefully that helped you a little bit to frame this up and make a decision. Happy cubing. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.